Hey guys! So, in the comments somebody asked me if I would do a review on one of my favourite games ever. And I was like, but how do I choose? So, I've narrowed it down to 2 games, and I feel like I should choose games which are like nobody knows about and are really unpopular, because that'll be like, oh my god, she knows about this game, but really, I'm not that kind of person. I love lots and lots of different games, and some that I've been playing recently are Beyond Two Souls, The Wolf Among Us, episode 2 came out a little while ago and I've just been playing that. Binding of Isaac and Don't Starve, which has had DLC come out recently, Reign of Giants. So I've been playing quite a bit of that. So from that little list, you can kind of tell that the kind of games that I go for are either ones with really good, intriguing storylines, or ones which are a bit, I guess, kind of repetitive and mostly time wasters. Now I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I love to play Call of Duty, because I don't. And I'm not one of those girl gamers who sit there and go, oh, all you boys think you're better than us girls at Call of Duty, because you're definitely better than me. I'm really bad at first person shooters, or any shooters, really. So my 2 favourite games of all time are either Portal, and I don't have the orange box, so I've got the Portal 2 case so that I can tap in stuff, or Minecraft. And these are both really good games which I love for 2 completely different reasons. And the reason I love Portal so much is because of its storyline. I love the way that GLaDOS is like an amazingly sarcastic, she makes the story, she is the story. And I love that it was like a really low production with just like a small group of people, and it was a spin-off of Half-Life. And really they didn't put a lot of like time or effort into it. They didn't expect it to be something that was big, and it turned out to be something that was really, really amazing. And you love it for all of like the little things that you can find, and the things that relate it to Half-Life, and the Easter eggs. And the story is just, I mean, the main character doesn't speak once in the whole thing, and yet the story just, it works. Obviously, as you can tell, because I've got this here with me, I have played Portal 2 as well, and the second one's never as good as the first one. Everyone says it and everyone knows it's true. The second one is never really as good as the first one, but in saying that, I didn't think that it was bad. A couple of people said that it didn't live up to their standards and it wasn't as good as the first one, and so they didn't really like it at all, because they expected more. But I guess I'm just not like that. And I really, really liked it. I like that it has multiplayer as well. Me and my friend spent a very long amount of time working through all of the puzzles, and I like that kind of like interaction, that kind of thing that was going on with it. But at the beginning of that one, you're in the Aperture Science a holding facility or something. You wake up from a coma that you've been in for a very long time, basically. But in the end of the first one, you've escaped. And there's never really a link made between how you were there and then not there. And so that kind of broke off the storyline a bit. For me, that was the biggest issue. But there's also lots of like really intriguing theories behind Paul, and I think one of my favourite ones is that in Paul 2 we learn that GLaDOS is actually Caroline put into into a robot body, basically, and she forgot all of her memory and stuff because they had to try and contain her, basically. And one of my favourite theories is that actually Caroline was Shell's mum, or mother, and that's why she was the foster daughter of someone who worked in Aperture Laboratories, which you know because in one of the Bring Your Daughter to Work Easter egg sections you can see that Shell is actually one of the daughters who was brought in. And in the end credits song, Still Alive, which I actually did a soft singing version of, if you translate it over into English speaking and not... Actually, I don't know what language it's in. It might be Latin or something. Then it gives heavy indications that Shell is actually GLaDOS's daughter. So that's my review on Paul. As far as Minecraft goes, it's not as much of an involved game, which obviously it's a world made of blocks. But I still find it really, really interesting because there's a lot of creative possibilities. I enjoy playing survival when I'm with friends, but it's not really something that I enjoy doing by myself. And my friends are not, I guess, as involved with that kind of thing as me. It's not like I can just say, oh hey, you fancy a game of Minecraft, and there'll be like 10 people there willing. I have it on my Xbox, and I had a torrented version on my laptop, but I never actually owned like the proper version. My boyfriend got it for me on the Xbox. And I think I like it a lot more on the Xbox because I like the feel of the controls a lot more, and using the joystick I find is a lot easier. But the thing that I use it for is not for it's survival, it's for creative, and I really like creating things, and I think that having a world made out of blocks is a lot more interesting and helps you be more creative because you have to think about ways around that sort of thing. Like circles. How do you make a circle out of blocks? I mean, you can, but every time I've tried it, it's not gone well. I've tried using things that are on like the internet. There's meant to be some sort of way which you can work it out to just do it. But I've tried to make 2 circles ever, like proper circles, not just like small ones which are really easy to do. And one turned out a diamond. I don't know how I thought that would end up being anything similar to a circle. I think my friend was helping me. But I ended up sticking with it because I thought it worked with the theme that I was going for as well. And the second time I tried to make a circle, it ended up looking a lot like one of those old-fashioned TVs, which are like kind of like it's like a rectangle with rounded edges, but also like someone's pulled the top and the bottom, so it's sort of like, it's almost an oval. It's like a cross between an oval and a rectangle, basically. It's the best way I can describe it. So circles are not my forte. But I've made quite a few things. At the moment I'm working on something which isn't just a small scale project. In the Xbox version the map isn't unlimited, which the PC version is. So I'm working on something which is like full scale, like basically the whole map is a creation, or a series of creations. It's basically going to be a world, and you can like have people come over from other places and they will explore in survival mode, and there'll be like lots of different stories which link into different things. So I've got a village in which everybody is sort of they worship, they're religious people, but they don't worship like any kind of religion that we have in Earth land. Instead they worship Notch, who is the creator of Minecraft, and it has like 10 commandments and it sings like love thy block and things like that, basically Christian 10 commandments flipped over to be Minecraft based. Do not covet thy neighbour's diamond and stuff like that. So that's something that I'm working on. I find it really difficult though, because it's meant to be me and my friend, but mostly I do the stuff because it's on my Xbox and she doesn't have access to that like I do. Also, I let my gold subscription run out because I have no money, so I'm having a bit of an issue there. But yeah, I do quite a few like projects on it. So I've done the village. I've done in the village is one guy who it's like part of the story. Basically, in his like basement, he has a nether portal, and in the nether there's like a massive Herobrine or Herobrine, whichever way you want to say it, sort of church, like a Satan church, basically in hell. And then pretty much next to that there's kind of like a coliseum in the sky, and I use wool blocks to make sort of like stained glass window type things, because it doesn't actually have stained. I know like the proper version of Minecraft on the PC does actually have stained glass, but last time I checked the Minecraft version doesn't, though I haven't updated in a while. And then me and my friend were working on a kind of giant turtle, and the idea was that you would be able to go in his mouth and then into his stomach, and there'd be like treasure in there and you'd come out the other end. But it turns out making a turtle shape out of blocks, like a 3D turtle shape, is very difficult. So yeah, those are my two favourite games. Those are the reasons why. Minecraft is really good because it helps stimulate me creatively, and Portal was always a favourite of mine because I loved the sarcasm and the humour that was in it, as well as like the Easter eggs and the links back to other things, and that's kind of like when you see different things like that relate to Half-Life or relate to like Shell's potential past and you don't really know what's happened there, and it's kind of like, oh my god, could it be this? And that's like a good thing to have in a game. So those are my two favourite games and my reviews on them. If you would like me to make reviews on any other games, then I might if I've played them, or if I've watched other people play them. So, yeah.